Hi guys, we're back with our as many as. So yesterday we made 12 cards using our 3x4 cut aparts. And tonight we're gonna work with our 4x6 cut aparts. And there's 6 of them. These were on a sheet. So if you have this collection, cut those apart. And actually these cards are not gonna use anything from the collection other than the cut aparts. We're not using any of these prints. We're gonna do these cards up using solids. And I have layered a lot of paper in these cards that the cards that I've designed, we're gonna be using kind of a lot of solid paper. But as we go along, it's kind of a little bit of a paper hoard card. But as we go along, I'll show you, if you don't want to use that much paper, kind of what you can do. So am I straight? I feel crooked. It looks okay. Okay, so I've done a few things to prep. And it looks like I need to stamp something on here or maybe use something from the sticker sheet. So we'll look at that. So we need to take care of that. But I've done a few things to prepare, and the first thing is card bases. Let me kind of move some of the stuff that I have that I'm gonna use black for these card bases. Okay, and I have cut 6 pieces that are 10 inches wide by 7 inches tall. We're going to do 5x7 cards. And I just need to run through and score them on the 10-inch side. We're going to score them in half at 5. Okay, so we'll get these going. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're doing good. I hope y'all liked the video yesterday. I'm having so much fun designing and making these cards. I haven't done card making in such a long time. And so I just really am excited to do this series. And this piece of paper looks like it has some marks on it here, but I'll use that as the front because we'll be covering a lot of that. Okay, so we've scored our card bases, so let's go ahead and fold them in half. And if you do not have a Teflon bone folder, I highly recommend these. I am always one that I will use what I have on hand. I have 2 other bone folders that I use, but the biggest difference in using the Teflon bone folders, if you've done any kind of card making or things like that, and if you used a bone folder for any amount of time, you know that especially on black, when you take a bone folder and you burnish your score line, it leaves this shiny, it leaves the paper shiny where you have burnished it. And the Teflon bone folder does not do that. It does not leave that shiny, it doesn't leave your paper shiny. And you notice that most, when using a regular bone folder, you notice that most when you're burnishing score lines on darker colored paper, you'll notice that shiny, it leaves the paper shiny. And a Teflon bone folder does not do that. And that's what I really like about it. Okay, so we'll get these all burnished down. And because I'm using black, and of course these are my cards, so if I chose to use a white gel pen to write my note, I could do that, because they're my cards. But I did go ahead and cut a mat for the inside of the card. so that I could write easily on it. So that's the first way you could save paper on this. If you're using a black base, instead of cutting a mat, you could choose not to stamp a greeting inside. If you just want to handwrite a message, then you could definitely do that in a white gel pen, and that would save you this piece of paper that I plan on mounting on the inside of my card right here. Now I have done that. I've got 6 of them that I have cut down, and these I cut down to smaller than a mat size. So this is 5 by 7. So my mat for the inside of my card is 4.5 by 6.5. For my mat on the outside, I cut down 1/4 inch. So these are actually 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 for my mat for the outside of the card. But I went a little bit smaller with the one on the inside, and I want to show you what I used for that. I stamped a sentiment. I told you last night that a lot of my Christmas stamps I have are from Made It, and I just love her Christmas stamps especially. And this stamp set is called, is from Made It, and it's called Celebrate the Season. And the reason that I used this one is because if you take a look, and if you're not using this paper collection, look at your cut-aparts, look at what they say. So this one is Happy Holidays, wishing you hope, joy, love, and gladness during the season. It says a little thing about Christmas here. This one says Merry Christmas. So because they have pretty much Christmas greetings on the front of these cut-aparts, I didn't want to stamp Merry Christmas or something like that on the inside because it's like a redundant saying. So what I love about this stamp set, Celebrate the Season, is it has all these little like sayings instead of just, I mean, it has your Merry Christmas stamps, but I used this one that says, celebrate the season's joyous sounds and sights and embrace the miracle of Jesus born that first Christmas night. And it has some really neat little sayings about Christmas and about Christ on here. And so that's what I chose, and with a little star that is also on that stamp set. And that's what I stamped for my inserts for the inside of my cards. So I have those ready to go. We need to find a stamp for here. It says "'Tis the Season" on the on here. Let me see. Let's just take a look at the sticker sheet. If I can find the sticker sheet. Here we go. Let's see if we can maybe find something to put on there. This little truck is cute. Might be cute just to put the little truck on there. Let's see what we have. This little barn scene here is really cute too. Okay, let's try them out. So we've got this little barn scene we could put there. Okay. That's a definite maybe. Let's try our truck here. Putting them over to the side because this is kind of, I really like the truck too. I think we're going to use the truck. So let me go ahead and put our tree back on our little barn back on our sticker sheet, so that we still have that to use later. Okay. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this closer to me so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Make sure I get it on straight. Okay, I like that. I feel like it needs something like right here. Let's see. There's a lot of these little pieces of holly and things like that. Let's see. Sorry, it takes me so long to decide. What if we just put, so there's a lot of these little like snowflakes. We could put some of those on there. I thought there was some black ones. Yeah, here we go up here. Maybe like there. And then there's this green one here. Okay, I think that's cute. Maybe another small little black one up there. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's really cute. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, let's start building our card. I'm also going to utilize edge punches here. So I've decided to do a couple of layers. So the first thing I did was cut a cream colored mat that is 1/4 inch smaller. Okay, so we've got 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So let's go ahead and lay our mats down, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do to our cut aparts to kind of not, I mean, I could have just matted the cut aparts and put them on here and it would have been really cute. But I wanna jazz them up as much as I can. But if you'd rather, if you do not have edge punches, don't go out and buy them, just so that it matches what I'm doing, okay? I'll show you what you can do when we get to that point. Okay, so I'm gonna lay down my mats, looking for equal distance all the way around. Okay, I forgot a paper towel. Let me go get one. Oh, are you kidding? My studio sits right off the kitchen and there's not a single paper towel to be found. Okay, we will just, we'll keep moving. Okay. Oh, it's like, you know, I'm sure you guys have that at your house. The person who uses the last of something doesn't replace it like with a new. Well, it's like somebody using the last roll of toilet paper and not putting a new roll of toilet paper in the bathroom. Okay, so we're just going to carefully lay this down with equal distance all the way around. That's what we're looking for. I'll just kind of wipe the glue off with my fingers that seeps out. Okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed last night's video. I'm excited to try some different kinds of cards and, you know, things like that. And when I started putting this one together, I thought, oh gosh, I'm not even using any of the paper from the collection, which actually makes it stretches that we're gonna get 6 cards and we haven't cut into any more of our paper. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna run through and mat these. And then I will show you what I wanna do is add kind of a punched edge to the edge of our cut aparts, just to give it a little something extra. Because if you just like use the 4x6 on a 5x7, you actually have a lot of space around. And so I wanted to be able to use up some of that space. And I already realized I chose 2 different punches because I didn't know which one I wanted to use. And after putting that cut apart on that card just now, I realized that one of them are not gonna work. This is just too big. So now I know which punch we'll use. Okay, last one. Okay. All right, so we have those on. All right, so we have our cards matted. Put my pin in my glue for now. Okay, so what I want to do, and what I have done, is I've got just, this was an 8.5 by 11 red piece of paper, and what I did was I cut it off 6 inches at 6 inches so that it is the length of my cut apart, okay? And what I want to do is I'm going to take my, I'm going to take my edge punch, and I'm just going to punch the edge. I'm trying to line this up. Okay. I'm gonna keep my trash bin close. Okay. So essentially what is gonna happen is this is now gonna lay like this. Pull out one of the cards. And it'll lay like that. You know what I'm thinking? I'm wondering if I should mat them all the way around and just punch 2 edges. Okay, I changed my mind. Okay, but I've got to figure out the, I need to figure out the, I'm gonna pull one of my little scraps here, how much this takes, this little punch is gonna take off. It looks like probably an 1/8. About an 1/8. Okay, so an 1/8 from the top, and then an 1/8 from the bottom. So like 1/4 of an inch. It's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe not even that much. So I'm gonna cut it an 1/8 of an inch wider. I think these are all, sorry, this is me thinking. I think these are all landscape. Yeah, they're all landscape. So I'm gonna cut them so this is 6. So we're gonna go 6 1/4. 6 1/4 by 4 1/8. 4 1/4 plus an 1/8. 4 5/8. No, 4 3/8. 4 1/4 plus an 1/8. 4 3/8. Okay, let me write this down. 4 3/8. 4 3/8, right? So 4 3/8 is 6 1/4. Okay, because I'll forget. Okay, so I'm going to cut some mats now, and I'm going to use red. This will not go to waste, by the way. I'm going to just set that aside. I'm going to use red on all of them except for this one. I'll use green. because I don't want to put red around red. So I need 5 red pieces and 1 green piece. So I've got green sitting here. Okay. My video is definitely not going to be as long as last night's, but I wanted it to be a little bit shorter. But now that I've changed my mind, okay, so we're going to go 6 1/4, right? So 6 1/4. Actually, I think I'll get better use of my paper if I do this first. So 4 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. By 6 1/4. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to go 4 1/2 here. What we have here, that's not enough. Me just testing out. Okay. So let's go 4 1/2. 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. Okay, that definitely leaves us room to edge punch. Now, before I cut into any more paper, let's edge punch this and see if it even looks right, because if not, I still have time. I haven't wasted any more paper. Oh, got one little piece left on here. Well, it didn't punch all the way through. There we go. So let's just go ahead and edge punch this, and that way we can test our measurement here and make sure that it looks right. Because if it doesn't, I can always add to it before I cut into any more paper. Okay, there's one side. Now again, if you do not have edge punches, just mat your paper. It's not a big deal. It'll still look really nice. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks good. And so that's how that will look. Okay, and I like that better than leaving it flush with the sides. Okay, so that looks cute. Okay. Let me clear this, and let's cut our mats now. So I need 5 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one down since it's done. Might as well finish this card since this one's already cut out. Okay. Okay, and I'm looking for even, especially right to left. and then top to bottom like that. And what I'm gonna do to add even more interest to the card is I'm going to pop this up using foam tape instead of gluing it straight down to give it a little bit of dimension. And this is just, I think it's 3M. Okay. And then I'm going to add one more piece in the middle. That might be overkill, but I want to make sure that it doesn't like sink down in the middle. Okay. Let me grab my pokey tool. Make sure that's burnished down. And then we'll just peel off like that. And I think I'll add a little bit of glue here. My dimensional tape here is kind of old, so I want to make sure that it sticks, just in case. Okay, and then I'm just going to center, I'm going to stand up so I can center this right on my card, like that. And that's what it looks like. Cute, right? And then we have a little bit of dimension because we popped that up. And I like that. That looks really cute. And I may even come back because we have a cream. You know me, I'm kind of a sucker for edging, making sure things around the edge for me make it feel finished. And because we've got a cream mat here, I'm even come and do some like faux stitching with a pen around the edges. I don't know, we'll see. But I think that's cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut our mats. I need 5 mats. I might need to get myself some more paper here that can be used. Let's just see what I have out and how far it gets me. I got a piece over here that I don't know, that's not going to be big enough. Okay, so I need 5 of them. Set our card aside here. Okay, so we went 6 1/2, not 6 1/4. And this is the little piece that I just used. No, we went 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. So we'll go 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. So that's 1. Cute. Okay. I should be able to get one out of here. 6 1/4. By 4 1/2. It's 2. Probably get all of them out of the red that I've got here. I'm gonna go 6 1/4. Just go all the way down so I can use and then we'll go as many 4 1/2s as we can. I think we'll only get 2. Okay, and we just need 1 more. Okay, now we'll just edge punch all of these. And then we'll glue all of these in place. Okay, so if you don't want to sit here and watch me edge punch all of these, you can just fast forward. Part of why yesterday's, well, for you, trying to line this up. Part of the reason the last video was so long is because I didn't want to, you know, because I don't edit my videos. It's, I had to show you guys the paper collection. So I couldn't cut into it or do anything to it until I had shown it to you guys. So I was able to do a little more prep for today's video because I had shown you the collection. I'm having trouble here because my light is glaring on my edge punch pattern. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm lined up, and the light's glaring quite a bit. So I'm having to turn it and make sure that I'm lined up. One more. Okay. There's that. So how's everybody doing today? Anything interesting going on with y'all? Not here. Everything's pretty boring. My son called me yesterday, and he is my oldest son, and he had talked to me several last week, I think, and he had told me that he had enrolled in at the community college. Now, he never went to college after high school. He, you know, he didn't know what he wanted to do, and he's also my very practical son. And he said, I just don't see spending all this money going to school when I don't know what I want to do. And so he has spent the last 7 years in the workforce. And he's done a good job. He's, you know, gotten promoted, and he's, you know, kind of developed, you know, he didn't work during high school. And so he really learned work ethic on the job. And, you know, his dad was not around. And so we divorced when he was a young teenager. And his dad just was not present, really. And so he just, you know, he has kind of floundered a little bit as far as he's been really blessed with some great supervisors at his jobs that he's held, and men in his life at our church and in the workforce that have really taught him what it means to have a work ethic and things like that. And so we've been really blessed that way with people in his life. And so he said he was ready to go to school, and he right now is working nights at his job. And so he talked to his supervisor and asked if there was any way he could move to days, because it would be really hard for him to go to school and work nights. And he is on the autism spectrum. I'm pretty sure of that. And so it would be fairly difficult for him to do both as far as work nights and go to school. And so we were talking together. And he was saying how really what he'd like to do is go to school full time so that it doesn't take him forever to get his degree. And so he had asked me if he can move back home and switch to working part-time and go to school full-time. And so that's probably happening. And I'm just really proud of him. You know, he's my late bloomer, and he's always been that way. And I think most of that is because he's on the spectrum. And so it doesn't surprise me that he is 25 and just now deciding to go to school. And so, and part of that was he realized that, you know, he doesn't, there are people out there who are very successful who have not gone to school. And so please don't take it like that's what I'm saying is the only way to get far in life is to get a college education. That is not what I'm saying at all. But my son's realizing that there are more opportunities for him to move forward in a work career if he had an education, and doing something a little more interesting than what he's doing now, which is just warehouse work. So he wants to go into computer science, and he wants to get a degree in computer science, and which really fits his personality. So I think that'd be really good for him. So I think he's probably he lives with his brother right now. They share an apartment, and part of the big thing is like their lease is up, and they have a 2-bedroom. That was actually kind of a blessing to find. When they got their apartment, the housing market was just starting to really ramp up and start, you know, prices rising in the way that they have. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that, but it's even rentals and apartments. They're super expensive. And so their lease is up, and they said that they were going to be raising their rent. And so they went looking for another apartment, and they haven't been able to find anything that they can afford. And they were saying they thought they might have to move to a 1-bedroom, where one of them would have to pretty much take the living room as their bedroom. But even the 1-bedrooms, they're having a hard time finding a 1-bedroom that they can afford. And isn't this paper pretty on the back of these? I almost wished that those cut-aparts were not on the back of this paper, because it's gorgeous. So I thought to myself, how are people, even young people like my sons, they're in my youngest son's in his early 20s, and my oldest son is in his, I'm sorry, I know I'm very low here on the camera. I just need to line up. How are people supposed to live with the prices like they are right now? I just don't get it. And my sons earn okay money, you know? I mean, it's just between the two of them, they should be able to afford to live and have a 2-bedroom apartment. It's unbelievable. I just cannot believe the prices. I just don't understand how, especially young people, are supposed to make it these days. So I don't know what my youngest son is going to do, but my oldest son's probably going to be moving back home. And I'm just so happy that he's decided to go to school. And I always told my kids, you know, when they all started growing up and graduating high school and moving out and things like that, excuse me, I always told them they had a place at home, especially if they wanted to go to school full time. And that was one thing I always told them, that if you wanted to, my youngest son, he did go to college. He's actually graduating in October with his bachelor's. And he didn't, I told him, you know, you always have a place at home, you know, if you want to go to school full time, but he wanted to live on campus in the dorms, and so that's what he did. And these last couple of years, though, he moved out of the dorms and was kind of rooming with people and doing a lot of his schooling online because, you know, the pandemic hit and the campus is closed. And so he was doing all of his schooling online. But I'm super excited that he's graduating in October with his degree finally, and he'll be getting his degree in marketing. That's what he wanted to do. So that's super exciting that he'll finally be done. So I've got one graduating and one starting. My little late bloomer is finally starting. Bless his heart. Okay, last one here, and then we're going to put these together. Sorry about changing my mind midway, though. Once I laid that out, it was just like, okay, that doesn't look good to me with it being flush on the right and left hand side. I think it looks better like this. I like it like this better. Okay. Okay, I'm going to keep my glue open because I want to put glue on my tape here just to make sure they stick well. So the ways to save paper on this, if you don't want to use as much paper as I've used, I realized I've used a lot of paper here. You can omit this big mat. Don't have to have it there. And I really believe they'd look just as cute. In fact, if I redid these, I have to be honest and say I would probably omit that mat. I think these red mats that I used with the frilly edge would actually look really cute just on the black card base. So that is definitely, if I had to do it all over again, that's probably what I'd do. I'm happy with these. I think they look cute. But I definitely would probably omit that cream colored mat. Also, if you chose a different color other than black for your card base, you wouldn't have to do the inner panel to write on. Or if you did choose black and you had a white gel pen, you could choose to just write a message inside your card instead of using a mat and a stamped image like I've got here. So there are ways to do this design without using as much paper as I've used here. But I'm happy with how they turned out. I think they're cute. All right. And that used up almost all of that I had left of that 3M tape, which is good because that's old. I really need to get some newer stuff. But like I said, I have not done card making in a really long time, so I haven't used it. And that's part of the reason that I'm using, oh, I don't even need to use my pokey tool. These are peeling off fairly easily. Okay. Just put a line of glue here on each one. Just a old tape, but I want the dimension. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to stand up for these. Just want to make sure that I get it centered. Since I'm using that tape, it's not going to give me any wiggle room as far as moving things around once it's down. Okay, see, that's super cute. And you know, it'd be really cute when we go to embellish these is to put maybe some little stickles as little like little shiny snowflakes. calming down, would be a great way to embellish those. Where did I put my other card? Oh, here it is. So we have those two. So I'm just going to stand up and do these here. It's hard for me to center them on the card. Make sure, I hope I did that, yeah, right, with my card opening the right way. Okay. As I'm putting, oh, that looks so good. Oh, I'm happy with that. And I'm actually really happy with the cream base on that one. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. I'm happy with these, but you could definitely, like I said, omit the cream base. That would save you some paper. And I like the dimension using the foam tape. Really cute. Okay, I'm actually, now that they're down, I'm really liking the cream base that's there. Just checking to make sure that I've got my cards opening the right way. Okay. I'll show you these up close once we're done. Nice. Okay, last one, and then we need to glue our little insert into them. Oops, don't want to be upside down. Another one that would look really cute with little shiny snowflakes. Already have my eye on how I might embellish these. Okay, and now that I think about it, I have these stamped in the wrong direction. Look at that. I have them stamped like that. Okay, so I need to redo those. Actually, I'm thinking I might save these. I'll save these and trim them down to a 2 size in case we need them for another card. So I'll save those and I'll do those. I'll stamp those inserts and and glue them on the insides, and I won't do that on camera. You guys don't need to sit and watch me do that. Let me show you up close the cards we created here. This is what happens when when you're involved with me in the creative process from beginning to end. So these kinds of things happen. Let me get this out of the way here, but I think that's good. I like seeing I like seeing the people that I subscribe to. I like seeing their creative process because, you know, a lot of times that includes mistakes, and how you correct from there on out is, you know, we need to know those things because we all make mistakes. So here's what we ended up with. Our 5x7 cards. Really cute. So we did 6 of them. So that puts us up at a total of 20 cards. No, 18 cards, because we did 12 yesterday and we have these 6 today. And that gives us 18 cards. And really, we've only used 2 pieces of designer paper, of the designer paper. So that's what we have so far, and we still have a ton of stickers left and a ton of paper left. So I am really looking forward to creating more and more cards. So I'll be looking at, I think I know what design we're going to do next, and it may not be one you've seen before. So that's kind of exciting. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.